So did you bring somebody in to systemize your business, or did you go onto that thing called GOOGLE? It's this new website. I don't know if you know.
Goggle?
Goggle, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
yeah.
I've heard of it.
So what exactly did you do? Because everyone can say, I systemized the business.
Yeah.
And maybe we can talk about that in some other videos later. But what exactly, could break it down into a couple of
Bite-sized
bites?
chunks.
Yeah.
So the first thing we did is we looked at the process of what we were doing in managing somebody's property, and we just listed it from 1 to 30, right? So it was from marketing the property to getting the property on, to doing the viewings, to getting a tenant applicant, etc., even to evicting them. And we chunked it down. We then wrote a particular process, how it happens, how it occurs, but we took the opportunity.
How deep do you go?
Very deep. We use SMART objectives, so specific, as in who would do it, measurable, so as in how do we measure that has been carried out, and ART, agreed, realistic, time bound. Time bound, we'd even put within 48 hours or within 20 minutes or within 30 seconds. So for example, our communications policy states that all emails, every single email has to be acknowledged within 4 hours. If you were emailed at 12 o'clock, if you respond at 1 minute past 4, you're in the wrong. It's measurable, it's time bound, it's black and white, you can't get out of it. And that's how we systemize the business. So we don't.
So how thick is your manual then?
It's about 330 pages. It's online and it's a learning management system.
And you expect your staff to know that inside and out?
No, we expect them to know their role inside and out. We don't expect them to know all 330 pages.
So, would you say that bosses need to create this manual, or do you think it needs to be a team effort?
Team effort. So it's got to be led from the top. So it's all about your vision and your values and your mission statement, all that sort of stuff. That has to come from, that's got to be led down. So that has to be your senior management team, your MD. Because if they don't buy into it, how the hell can you expect your staff to?
True.
So once they bought into it, and you can delegate and you can get a little bit more motivation out of them, you can get the staff to write the procedures and they will feel engaged more, and you'll get more out of them. That is just a fact. It's what, if you go through all the motivational theories, excuse me, it's all about self-actualization, achievement, attainment, progressing people. And there's nothing that progresses people more by giving them little one-off challenges, one-off little projects by writing a procedure. They then can be checked by the manager to see if they need tweaking, and then they can be put in practice.
So if there's any letting or estate agents watching this now, get them to every single touch point where you're dealing with a customer, you write it down, bite-sized pieces, get the negs to write out their bit, the valuers to do their bit, then bring it all together?
Then I would get either you or your manager or somebody in the senior authority who understands and shares the same vision and values as you to pull it together. So you're getting somebody else to do all the hard work, but don't forget the sales negs, the lettings negs, etc., and the admin might be doing something that's not right. So when you say write down what you do,
yes,
it might not be right. It might not be with the vision and values of the business in mind. So then, when somebody who has got the vision and the values of the business in mind, they then tweak them to say, right, you're taking 2 days to respond to somebody. Let's knock that down to 24 hours, or you shouldn't be pushing that button, you should be doing this one, you shouldn't be doing that, you should be doing this. You then can retrain the staff, so you're upskilling the staff, as well as, because you've got them to write the manuals, or part of the manuals, you've absolutely...
Of course they've got buy-in as well, because they help.
Exactly, and that's the point. Businesses is all about staff getting buy-in from them, and then keep... A manager's job to manage, one of the biggest parts of managing people is motivation. Absolutely. You get a motivated person, they will achieve greatness. You can get a talented person who's not motivated, and he's a waste of space. Motivating people and keeping staff motivated is the hardest part of management, but if you keep them motivated, you will get more out of them.
Do you think the leader, the self-motivation of the leader is a vital element to that then?
Yeah. So the leader has to lead from the front, so by example.
How do you motivate yourself? How do you motivate yourself to ensure that you motivate your team?
Right. A couple of things. As a leader, you should always be motivated. I'm not talking part of the time or most of the time, all the time. We are all motivated. Self-motivation. If you're looking from a leader should be self-motivating. If you as a leader need to be motivated by other people, you're not. It's partly you're not a leader. It's one of the main important parts of being a leader.
But how can you motivate yourself if work's shit? Excuse my French.
No, it's fine. There's plenty of ways how to motivate yourself if you are the leader. The first thing I said self-motivation. I appreciate that every time we're going to get up in the morning, not all the time we're going to be, yeah, rah, 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 this is going to be a great day. Sometimes you've just got to hide how disappointed you are and how upset you are and how chewed you are.
Do you think a lot of bosses wear their heart on their sleeve?
Too much so. And I was one of them. If you're pissed off, everybody else gets pissed off. Attitudes are contagious. So if you come in and you're peed off or you're happy, then your staff will be peed off or your staff will be happy. You know, if you come in motivated, they will be motivated. There's something to be said for this American rah-rah stuff.
Yeah.
There is a lot of positivity in that, and positivity just breeds positivity. So if you coming in and you're like, we're going to do this, we're going to smash it, every time we sell a house, we're going to hit the gong, blah, it gets...
Have you got a gong or a bell?
We have, yeah. Yeah, we have, in the investment side of the business. And every time they sell a house, they give a good old bang. But positivity breeds positivity, and you've got to be, as a leader, you have to be positive, and you've got to lead from the front.
So how do you re-motivate yourself when you're having a dog day?
My granddad used to say, pull up your big boy pants and get on with it. You know, I don't, if you're asking me about motivation and stuff, I'll just tell people to stop messing about.
So what motivates you as a person, John Paul?
Being the best. No matter what I do, I have to be the best.
In life?
Everything.
Are you the best?
I'm working towards it every day. I am the best at some things. I'm not the best at others. But if I'm not the best, I've got enough self-awareness to know why I'm not, and I know what I need to do to become the best.
I think self-awareness is probably one of the biggest things. You've got to be aware of what you're good and bad at and what you can do about it. Especially if you're a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got any tips for people out there on how to improve their self-awareness?
The biggest tip I was told a few years ago is look in the mirror and just talk to yourself. Now that normally you might think you're a bit mental doing it, but you need to be honest. It's brutal honesty. So, you know, quiet in room, you're not trying to impress anybody, your kids aren't there, your missus isn't there, you're not putting a false facade on, just you in the mirror.
Do you have any kind of coach or mentor or guru that you talk to?
No, I haven't had one for a number of years now, and that's a mixture of I can't find anybody who I can gel with. There's a lot of people out there who are going on as gurus, and I don't think they're worth the shit off the bottom of your shoe, most of them. And that's not to say they're not doing a good job for certain levels, and certain people bring up at certain levels. But there's a lot of things out there that it's not truth, it's not authentic, and things aren't congruent. So that's I've got a business partner now who's extremely successful. You know, he's achieved a hell of a lot. I look up to him, and I'm learning a lot of stuff, especially because, as you know, we're going on the acquisition trail. So he's bought and sold many £1-million businesses before. So
we're in 2017, going into 2018. Where is Castledene now?
7 branches. Just completed on one this morning.
Excellent.
We've got 1 or 2 new organic fresh starts.
Okay. How many staff?
50 at the moment.
50 at the moment. Wow. Won't pay that wage bill.
Neither do I.
And properties under management?
Just over 2,000.
It's not bad.
It's all right. I mean, the last 2 that we bought are also estate agents. So between them, they'll sell.
Hope you didn't pay too much for them, mate.
No. You know me.
If it was on for £1, you'd offer 50.
I would, yeah.
Maybe in some other videos we can talk about how estate agents and letting agents can ride the storm of, you know, we've got tenant fee ban coming, we've got less people moving, we've got the pressure on fees. Maybe those are topics that we can talk about.
Yeah, love to.
But you know, just one final thought. Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
Good question. Whatever I'm doing, I don't.
And I'm talking work, but also everything that is to do with John Paul, family, house, everything.
Wow, that's a really good question. So whatever I'm doing,
because you want to be the best.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, whatever I'm doing, I'll continue to be striving to be the best. I definitely don't want to retire. I definitely don't want to do that.
How old are you now?
40.
40?
I know, I don't look it. Only you, Lee.
Go on,
Yeah.
Mary.
But yeah, no, it's yeah, just continue to be the best, whatever I'm doing. I've got a real big sort of drive to make a difference at whatever I do as well.
Okay.
So one of my values is community. Coming from working class, mine and stock, giving back to the community, helping the community, serving the community, providing a service for the community. We employ pretty much everybody's local to wherever our branches are. We do a lot of good in the community, and I really enjoy that. And if I can give back in some way, and that does sound cheesy, but if I can make a difference, because I do think politics is BS. I do think bureaucracy is BS, and I think it needs a straight talking northerner to sort the crap out.
Mate, it's been emotional. Thanks very much.
No worries.
Cheers.